Yeah, I had to rebuild my whole front yard garden. Actually, I had to rebuild my whole entire garden, but we're just talking about the front yard right now. It's cool. I got to change a couple things. That being said, I recorded each step. So if you're building your garden or planning on building your front yard garden, this is how I'm rebuilding mine. Y'all, it's been a year since I last planted in this garden. Long story short, things took a bit of an unexpected turn. That being said, I had a lot of clearing to do. This time around, I opted to have somebody else do that work. At least the most of the heavy lifting. And I will tell you, y'all, that's probably one of the best decisions I've ever made. And I will do that shit again. But as the law of nature insists, clearings create voids, and voids invite weeds. As soon as I had this place cleared out, y'all, should have came out here and then tarped this whole entire plot. Tarping your soil helps retain moisture, and moisture helps seeds to sprout. Also keeps said sprouts in a weakened state because it can't get access to the sun, which would have made the upcoming step that much easier. See, so opposed to me using like a halo or anything like that, I'd much rather use this. Smaller ones, y'all, all you really have to do is kind of make it a darker green, kind of like this one. For the bigger ones, y'all, I am taking a little bit more time just to make sure I got them down at the base. Careful right here, man. It's kind of the only thing that I did different around here this time around. Irrigation lines. This time around, when it came to my sprayer, made it a closed loop. So every section is meeting water and then tying back. So what this does is increases the pressure for our inline filters. Through the years, I've played with wobblers, micro sprayers, impact heads. Those have their place. These have been specifically made for a yard, and that's what this is. So I just kind of leave it at that, man. I also decided to bury my lines this time. Back to watching where I'm forking, especially when I'm dealing with this rhizomial grass. However, everything I'm pulling out, I am not throwing away. My plan is to put all this sunshine and nutrients right back into my garden. I call it nut grass because of that. You see all that, y'all? So it takes all the energy from the sun, it takes all the nutrients that I give the garden, and it stores it inside of that little rhizome. This thing's already telling me that it's a bank. Y'all, if you're concerned with reed pressure, this is a perfect time to sheet mulch. When it comes to soil, so this is all my spent microgreen compost. And that's all the breakdown of different microgreens. There's all kind of micro bacteria and all kind of stuff breaking down the soil in there. And it's doing it all through here as well, adding a fresh layer of life through the bed. The little pot that could doesn't just support me, it also supports a farmer's market as well as some restaurants. The way I'm going to be laying out my grow space is more conducive to that. So right now I'm laying out my primary irrigation, which is drip tape. We're going to stick with my quintessential spacing. About a 10-inch walkway and 30-inch beds. I think that's about from walkway to walkway. Make sure you get the most spacing out of your small plot. All right, y'all, now I got a visual on this thing. I can actually go in and finish up with the irrigation. Find the middle of your row. For this one, we're gonna go 3/4 to 1/2. Ready. I mean, it's pretty Lego-ish, you know what I'm saying? But then inside that T-splitter, I attached PVC to poly adapters. East. And then those go right inside there. Yes, it's true. Yes, we do. And these guys are perfect for the whole entire row. This is drip tape. About every 6 inches, there is a slit. Remember that for the next part. Drip tape is just the easiest option, y'all, for this style of gardening. I don't want to sit there and have to punch hundreds of emitters and then try to be precise with it. Now, as you can see, this is really easy run and gun. Now all I just have to do is lay in the line. But first we have to build the emitters. Remember the slit I showed you guys earlier on? So what you want to do, find the slit and then you just punch a hole in it, right? Making sure you go through the emitter portion. The next thing you do, these are one of the lines that would run you from your main line to whatever it is that you're irrigating, right? I normally go for more of the rigid one for this application. This was the end. Go ahead and just cut that and make sure that that's flat. And then you just want to fit that in. Everything's compression fitting, y'all, so it just sits right in. This probably is fine. I just normally notice whenever you have a 45-degree angle with these things, you get a lot of leakage. So I'll go back and correct that. This side, however, you definitely want to make that the 45-degree angle. And you just kind of want to make it sharp. And then you kind of shimmy that right onto the other line. And just like voila. Hell yeah. You got yourself drip tape emitter. Can't remember exactly who I got that from, but big up. Thank you very much. That's where I'm at right now, y'all. I got the first row laid out ready, mostly for you guys. The next step should have been seeding. However, my seeder finally died on me. So I'm gonna wait for the new one to come in and finish this up. Peace, y'all.